What's up, guys? Alrighty. Just checking one thing here, make sure the stream is actually working. Hold on a minute. Alrighty. So I guess I'll get going. Uh, so I don't know if you guys can see me here, but what's up? What's up? So today, uh, I'm gonna talk about some things, and then I'm gonna get right to the game. Today, I'm playing Assetto Corsa, um, and stuff like that. I don't know if you can hear me all the way. But so just some things real quick. I'll actually do a longer video talking about this subject, but I'm a big like automotive person. I love cars. I love vehicles. I love racing. Racing is just, I mean, it's just awesome. Uh, I mean, racing built America practically. Uh, the minute we invented the car, we started racing. And what I mean by racing built America, if there wasn't racing in America, any type of racing, whether it be on foot, horse, train, or a car or plane, um, America would be a different place. Just like if America didn't have God, it'd be a different place. So I love racing. I've been playing racing games my whole life since I was like a little kid, like very little. Um, and I've seen the whole video game racing genre evolve. As a matter of fact, when Gran Turismo first hit, I said, "This is it, Kazunori Yamauchi. You did it. You practically broke the whole entire racing genre." Because before we did have racing games that simulated certain things realistically. But Kazunori Yamauchi with Gran Turismo, with Polyphony Digital, was the first racing game to be super realistic in the 90s. And it came out on console, not on PC. And after that, every company out there scrambled and scurried around and was in panic mode. because they were all creating games that were still arcade-ish and simcade-ish. Kazunori Yamauchi was actually a race car driver in Japan. He raced professionally, owned a few sports cars. So he knew exactly what he was doing. He wasn't someone who was a chef and then decided to dab his hands into video games. No, 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 no. He was a guy who understood cars, understood the physics of cars. He was a guy who understood, um, everything about the automotive world. So he decided to create a game based off of the automotive world, and he created the best video game franchise ever, which kickstarted other franchises from other companies. And this is one of them, developed by an Italian team. Ciao tutti, come stai? Tutti in Italia. Questo gioco Assetto Corsa è molto bene. Hai fatto un buon lavoro. Sto aspettando per Assetto Corsa 2. Speriamo che quel gioco lì, numero 2, è buono come questo qua. O superiore di questo qua. Sto aspettando. So, as the years went on, I practically continued on playing other racing games. And okay, I guess it's not working like I wanted to, so I'm just gonna have to do this. Alrighty, there we go. So practically, um, so practically, I've been playing racing games my whole entire life, and when I saw Assetto Corsa, I was like, "Wow, this seems really great." I got Assetto Corsa later in life, like not when it first came out. I got it. When did I get it? 2020, I believe. I can't remember how long I've had it since, but I'd say 2020 or something like that. Just a few years after I built my uh, desktop PC, and so basically, I started tinkering around with it. I even found a website which I'll show you in a later video, where you can get a bunch of modded cars and stuff like that. Like from every manufacturer in the world. It's huge. It's a great website. Um, so I have some extra cars in here and extra tracks. So basically, um, this is one of the games I have on my PC. The other one is R Factor 2. I have some of the Dirt Rally games. I even have a bunch of racing games on my PlayStation consoles and my Game Boy, basically Nintendo consoles, PlayStation consoles. I have racing games all over, and I have a lot of racing games, spanning from like back to the 80s all the way till at least 2020s. So today I'm going to set up a race where I'm going to do the I'm going to do the this track right here. Let me show you. So um I'm going to do the Vallelunga track. It's an Italian track. I'm not doing the classic one. I'm going to do the full track. Um, there is a Vallelunga club track, which is very short. I do that one sometimes. I do it with a little Fiat 500 like club car from the 60s. But today we're going to do this one, the full course. And the way I set up my races, at least the opponent side, is I count how many cars are total within, uh, like a certain car, like this one. I'll show you. So I'm using the Mazda MX-5 Cup car, and it basically has 160 horsepower, and stuff like that. But basically, all my opponents are the same car. So it's not like one's Mazda, one's Toyota, one's McLaren, one's Ferrari, one's Honda, one's Porsche. You get the idea. It's all going to be Mazda MX-5 Cup cars, at least the new ones. So what I do is I, well, I keep pointing and I keep looking at the camera. You can't see me, but what I do essentially is I come over here and I count how many cars there are in total, and then I select one, and then I just skip the one that I selected and count the rest. And then that's how I come up with basically uh, 16 opponents, because there's 17 cars. I have number 17, and then I just add 16, and then it totals 17. The pit boxes can hold 24 cars, but there's only 16 cars here. That's fine. If there was like 24 cars in this, like let's say 24 paint schemes, sweet. But there's only 17. I'm number 17, and I just put the rest of the 16. For the summary, these are my settings for this race. I change for every race, or I might just keep these settings the same for every race I do with any kind of track, any kind of car. Just my preference. Uh, Same as this. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. Okay, I've been playing racing games my whole entire life. Now I know there are a lot of you who, as a matter of fact, I can show you something right now. So let me see if you can. Oh, sweet, I got it to work. So you can actually, okay, so you can actually see me now, and you can see the game. It's exactly what I wanted. So you can see that right here, I'm actually on a desk. This is a lifetime table, not a desk. It's a lifetime table that you can get at like any store, like Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's. You can even buy them online. I have one behind me, but this is a big one. The other one is more like a little picnic table, foldable table from Lifetime. So this is the bigger version. So this is like you could use it as an office table. I don't have an office table, quote unquote, um, because the new place I moved to basically, um, we had to get rid of my office tables, and it's fine. I don't mind because this table does its job. It's perfect. And actually, one of the office tables I had, that glass one, that you would see in some of my videos, just as we were putting it outside to get rid of for people to pick up, one of the glass parts shattered. So we just left the rest of them out there, and hopefully someone picked it up. If not, oh well. And my other glass one that was next to it that held all my PlayStation 2 games, we gave that away. But see, I'm on this table with a Thrustmaster T150, okay, PlayStation PC wheel set that I got from, I basically bought used from a coworker of mine in Temecula, and he only wanted like $60 for it, and he only used it for 2 years, but he barely used it. The only thing that broke was the little screw part on the bottom that screws into the table. So all I did was I went and bought a long like screw thing, to stick in there, and it worked. Like, so I just have that, and I just tighten it with like I have like a little tool set, and I just tighten it. So this thing is secure to the table, like not literally an atomic bomb, but like literally. But what I'm saying is like it would take a lot of force for this to, you know, co- come out and stuff like that and be broken. So I'm using this T150 racing wheel. Now, I've played video games with racing wheels before. I mean, I played a bunch of arcade games with racing wheels. Okay. Well, not racing wheels. I should say steering wheels and pedals. But I've never owned one. I've owned flight simulator controls before. I used to own a Logitech f- um, uh, joystick back then in like the early 2000s. I'd say like 2003, 2002. And it was the one that came with force feedback, which, I mean, that was like early 2000s, which force feedback now is a standard thing. But back then, forget it. And it wasn't an inexpensive product either back then. I got it at CompUSA, which I know a lot of you don't even remember what CompUSA was. It was like Best Buy, but smaller. Bigger than Radio Shack, smaller than Best Buy. Um, kind of like the Dollar Tree of like electronic store. It was a little bit bigger than a Dollar Tree, just by a bit. So, I got this racing wheel, and this is what I've been using. And this is what I want to get into before I start the race. A lot of you out there in the sim racing world, or just racing world in general, you'll do all these videos talking about what wheel, what shifter, what pedal, what game, what car, what settings. Why don't you just shut up and drive? All I want to know is, and all I care to know about is how long you've been playing racing games for. Like, just say, hey, look, I've been playing racing games my whole life. End of story. I don't care what peripherals you use. Because you know what? I used to play racing games, and I still do, on my PlayStation, on my Nintendos, with no wheels, and I won. And I got good times. Do you need a wheel? Well, see, I got a wheel for my own purpose. And what was my purpose? My purpose was so I could use this to actually better my driving out in the real world, which is what you're supposed to do with these games. Not use this as entertainment, not use this as like, yeah, as entertainment or as some esports thing, which, fine. You want to go make money that way? Okay. But I'm using this to better my driving. Sure, it's not driving on the streets, but still, you can actually better your driving on a track. And plus, this is free. You just pay an internet bill. You don't have to go to the actual physical track and drive, which I suggest you go to a physical track, which I still want to do. And take your car from your garage. Don't go rent a car. Don't go, just take your car, whatever car you have. If it's a truck, SUV, sports car, coupe, sedan, motorcycle, whatever, take your vehicle and go to the track and practice. But that costs you money. So don't spend all your money just doing that. Have one of these, have a wheel, or don't have a wheel. Use a mouse and keyboard. Use a different type of controller. You don't have to use a wheel. A wheel is not going to make you better. Because I'll tell you this. There was a Nissan GTR that was controlled by a PlayStation 3 controller or a PlayStation 4. And they successfully went around the track. They had the whole apparatus hooked up, the controller hooked up to the car with a camera so they could see where they were driving, and they went around a track and got a very good time. You can look it up on YouTube. You can read it on the internet, read about it on the internet with a PlayStation controller. No driver. It was a driverless car. Someone was controlling it with a PlayStation controller. That just tells you don't need a racing wheel. For the most part. I would say you should start off with the basics. Mouse, keyboard, controller. That's not a racing wheel, and pedals. And this is not... we call these racing wheels, but just a wheel and pedal setup. And then once you get the basics down of the game, then go buy one of these. But don't go get one of these driving video games, because they're all driving games. Whether it's racing or parking or driving about on the streets. Don't go get a driving game and then say, oh, you need a racing wheel for it, because you don't. If you get a PlayStation and you get Gran Turismo, any PlayStation, any Gran Turismo, you don't need to get a racing wheel right off the bat for it. You can just use the regular controllers. It's what I used my whole entire life. I used to play with my friends that way, and it worked. So I got this when I have played racing games my whole life. I got this years after I skipped generations of racing wheels. And why did I choose this one? I wanted this one brand new. Like I saw these, they were great price. They have it for the Xbox PC and the PlayStation PC. Why did I go with Thrustmaster? Because I trust Thrustmaster. Because Logitech has totally gone a different direction. They're not the old school Logitech that I once knew from the 90s, early 2000s. That was the same old Logitech from the 80s where they really built things in America and they were really good quality. Now Logitech is just dipped down in quality, dipped down in everything. They're not the worst out there, but they're not the best out there anymore. Thrustmaster, really good products. I have their flight simulator things, the stick and throttle. One of my buddies has the combo. He doesn't have the Airbus edition. He has the other one, but same deal. And I tested his out, and I was like, wow, Thrustmaster is a solid product for the price. So I went with one of these. But I didn't get it new. I told you I got it used. And, because my buddy was like, bro, I have one. I don't use it anymore. You want it? $60. I was like, bro, that's a steal. And he told me what was broken. I said, that's it. And he goes, yeah. And I was like, bro, that's not even broken. I could just get a part and put it back together. So I essentially I picked it up, got it, gave him the money, and I used it. I had my own cockpit that I built out of wood, no longer with me. I just gave the wood away to someone else who wants to build it. And I just attached it to this desk now, and it works. I love it. I don't need an expensive racing wheel to be good or to improve. That buying a wheel more than $60 is not going to make me a better driver. Buying a wheel and pedal combo. The only other thing I'm going to get for this is the shifter that comes with it, and then I'm going to later on I'm going to replace the pedals with the one setup that comes with a clutch pedal. And that's it. And I'll use that for the rest of my life until this thing blows up. Once this thing blows up, then I'll probably get another one or I'll probably get something else. And the force feedback on here is great. I don't look, you can talk about, oh, well, it's not one of those pedals and wheels that is like, separate where you buy this separate and then you buy this separate and you attach it. Then the wheels are like this and they have this spring rate. Dude, I don't give a shit. Because I'll tell you this, it's not the product that you have. It's you, the driver. Because let's say Ayrton Senna was alive today and you gave him this, he would beat you all. He would beat all of you with just this wheel and pedal combo. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jeff Gordon, you give him one of these, like my setup, with an office chair and this type of desk with a like $600 gaming PC that I built with bare minimum parts, he would still beat you all. You would all lose. Oh, but those are race car drivers. Okay, then just let's go get someone who's a normal driver, who drives really well on the streets. They'll still beat you. Oh, but that's someone who no, shut up, shut the fuck up. See, I'm sick and tired of all of these people in the sim racing genre, this or that or this. Who gives a shit? Just race. Doesn't matter what gear you have. It doesn't matter. Like I said, there's people who can win with mouse and keyboard. I have a game. It's a racing game. It's an old racing game that came out in I think 2005, and it's for PC and PlayStation 2. And I have actually both of them. I have the one for PC and I have the one for PlayStation 2. And I basically used to play that game with mouse and keyboard as well as PlayStation 2 controllers on the PlayStation. I did just fine. I had no issues. My times were pretty fast. They were great. No racing wheel whatsoever. No, nothing. And when it came to the mouse and keyboard, because I got it on PC, because I wanted to see if there was any difference, because sometimes there is, I did just fine with mouse and keyboard. It was easy. I did well. I came in first. Sometimes I would come in second, but first, second, third. Didn't come in dead last. I'm not the greatest driver of all time. I suck at sim racing games. I actually do. You're going to see. I'm going to set up this race. I'm going to do it. I'm going to show you my skills. My skills are trust me. Out in the real world, I'm not the best driver in the world. I'm not the shittiest driver in the world, and I'm not the okayest driver in the world. I'm somewhere in between all that. Same thing with sim racing games. Even though I've been playing my whole life, you could have played sim racing games your whole life and still suck. You could have practiced hours and hours. I used to play Gran Turismo 4, 2, 3. I didn't own one. One of my buddies owned one, but I played 2, 3, and 4, and 5, because those are the ones I own, and 6. I played those for number 2 was my most played, and I studied that game like you can't imagine. I still sucked compared to other people. I know there's stuff I'm doing wrong, but I keep improving myself. I'm trying to become the best version of myself. I'm trying to improve because God says for us to improve ourselves. So I'm going to get to it, and you're going to see what years and years of practice has gotten me, where it's gotten me. And it hasn't, look, I'm not bashing myself on purpose. I'm telling the truth about myself. It's gotten me to a level where, it's okay. It's good. Is it where I want to be? Because in real life, I want to be a race car driver. Am I past the prime? No, I don't think so. Because there's people who are 80 years old that are race car drivers. They might not be Formula One racers, but they're still racing some type of a car. Might be slow. They might be doing the elderly race, but still, it's race car driving at 80 years old. So, um, that's another thing. There's a guy who his name is Craig Lieberman, okay, and he's the guy who actually worked on the Fast and Furious franchise, 1, 2, and I believe 3, and I think that's where he stopped. But he provided his cars for the Fast and Furious franchise. Look him up on YouTube, Craig Lieberman. You want anything Fast and Furious? He's the only authority on everything and anything Fast and Furious. He actually talked about that there were driving programs in the 60s and 70s when he was like a young guy that really taught people how to drive. And people were actually becoming really great drivers. And somehow they just dropped. Not just in America, but in the whole entire world. There's not that many good drivers anymore. People are just shitty drivers now. And we have like video games that teach you how to drive. This can teach you how to race for free. You don't have to go to a track, like I said. But kids are not taking advantage of this. They're just doing this for the money and for the entertainment, not to actually get better at driving or racing. This thing that's right in front of you can be used to teach you how to be a better driver, but yet you're not using it for that. And then you get in a car accident, and then they say, oh, we need autonomous cars because all these kids. No, 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 no. What the kids need to do is they need to go to the track, or they need to go to a school, or they need to do this, and they need to practice their driving. They need to have a teacher who actually knows how to drive. I'm sick and tired of all these stupid pieces of shit drivers out here in this world who don't know how to drive. Everywhere. Doesn't matter what race you are, what color, brown skin you are. Doesn't matter where you're from, what country. All people on this planet just suck at driving these days. Unless you're a professional race car driver. They know how to drive. That's how come they're professional race car drivers. The rest of us, good luck. We're not even close to them. Because I bet you Lewis Hamilton goes around. I bet you when let me say this. I bet you when Lewis Hamilton goes around driving wherever he drives, his normal everyday cars, I bet you he's pissed off every single time because he's like, come on, you fuck. Can't you drive? I bet you Jeff Gordon does the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. I do that. And I'm not a good driver. I'm not the best driver on the planet. I'm not a race car driver. I'm not a person who's been driving for, 60 plus years. Even people who have been driving 60 plus years are shitty drivers. Because 60 plus years doesn't equate to the best driver on the planet or really good driving. You could have driven your whole entire life. You could be 80 years old and still driving and not be a good driver at all. You could have been driving for 15 years and not be a good driver. You could be driving for 80 years and be a good driver. You could be driving for 15 years and be a good driver. Goes both ways. Goes all ways. So let's get to the race. And, let's kick it off here. Right now I have it set to right now I have it set to 10 laps. Uh so Damn it. All right, so leave a comment in the comment section. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. This is Biohazard Canning Kids channel. Um, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please watch my other videos. I just recently posted one about the Mii-Chen MP3 player. I need to, and I'm gonna post the other video I made after that. So I'll be posting it sometime after I do this video. But all right, let's get to it. So this is gonna be a Mazda MX-5 Cup race. I think I'm gonna do 10 laps. I was gonna set it maybe to like 15 or more. I might. I don't know. Ooh. Okay. Slipstream. Let's see if I'm gonna change it. La la la. Let's see. I don't want too much of a slipstream. And by the way, when you are like creating your whole thing, make sure you do custom. That way you get to set it how you like it. I mean, if you want like gamer, racer, or pro, like you want to set one of these, you don't want to do custom, that's fine too. But custom is a little better. Uh, Strength 85, variation 3. I'm gonna leave it there. 16 opponents. These are drivers. Yeah. All right. Um. Oh. Ooh. Where does it say? Okay, 10 laps. So I'm thinking about doing 10 laps around here. I mean, I'm debating either 10 or 15. Because if we do 15, then we might have to do a pit stop. If we do 10, uh, I don't think we'll have to do a pit stop for the gas and the tires and stuff. Look, I know there's a bunch of racing like videos out there. I'm just adding to the pool, but with my flavor, with my take on racing games, with my experience throughout my life on racing games. Don't you worry, I'm gonna come at racing games. I'm gonna when I do videos on racing games, because I did them before. You saw if you're not new to my channel, you've seen my Dirt Rally series. But once I do more racing video games, you're gonna see how I go about racing video games. Totally different. My mindset is not the mindset of a sim racer. It's not the mindset of everybody else. Well, of course, nobody has the same mindset as the other person. No. Everybody else in the sim racing world, I see what their mindset is. It's all the same across the board. You have to come at this first as a real professional race car driver. That means you have to get in that mode. You have to put your mind in Mario Andretti's brain. Your mind has to be Mario Andretti. It has to be Ayrton Senna. It has to be Dale Earnhardt. It has to be Jeff Gordon. You can't have the mind of someone who goes to Best Buy or goes to Target, buys a computer or PlayStation or Xbox, buys a game, buys a wheel, and then just has fun. And then hopes one day to make money doing this off of YouTube or at some esports event. No, you literally have to like take what you have learned in the real world by getting your driver's license, apply it to here. And then once you get good at this, you apply it to there. Once you get good in the real world, you apply it to here. You have to have a certain mindset. Your mind has to be one with driving. And that's the way I'm going to approach this. Because, like I said, I want to be a really good driver. Not just in here on the game, but in the real world. Okay? So let's hop to it. I think I'm going to leave it at 10 laps. Yeah, let's do 10 laps. Let's see how well I do. And if I crash, fail, whatever, I'm just going to keep going. Look, it happens. Look what happened to Ayrton Senna. He died. See, that's another thing. A lot of people will say the best racers are dead. No. No. And a lot of people will say the best racers are still alive. No. I think everybody's a good racer or can be a good racer. I think that the best racers are the ones that are dead and alive. Everybody has some part of their mind that is a racing mind, whether it's racing at a track on foot or just up and down your street on a little razor scooter, you know, the pedal ones, on a bicycle, in a horse, in a car, in a plane, a jet, spaceship. We love speed. Humans love speed. It's just something we love. That's why we want to create a warp drive, because we love speed. We want to go faster. That's why we broke the sound barrier. That's why we're trying to break the speed of light. But you will never go faster than God. Because God will, you just can't actually. Because God there's a block. There is a block that God has put in place that says, nope, turn back around. That's the speed that you can own. That's as far as you go. So, alrighty. I just want to say that everyone's a good racer. They can be. There is no this or that or this. That whole debacle needs to just get thrown out the window. Just like I said, wheel versus keyboard versus VR versus that needs to stop. There is no this or that. It's just use whatever you have and just get good at it. And you can get good with anything. You don't have to have a wheel, you don't have to have a keyboard, don't listen to people who just tell you, "Oh, this is what you need. Oh, you have to have this." No. What you have right in front of you, what you already have is great. It works. Then after, if you want a wheel or something else, it's your choice. But don't just, oh, this is not good enough. No, that is good enough. This keyboard's good enough. This wheel's good enough. The controller's good enough to start off with. All right, let's get to it. more into these topics as I continue to do more racing videos, driving videos. Alright. So I'm not going to mess with my settings here. I think I already have them set from the previous race I did, so we'll just get to it. if I was really good, I would have come in first place or second. But I suck at driving. This race just proved it. How many of you in the sim racing world will actually say that? Zero. None of you. Me? I'll say that every time because I know I suck. But those of you who claim, and all of you who claim, oh, I'm the best. No, you're not. We all suck. So improve your driving. Not whatever. Just improve your driving. Just get better at driving. Not your settings. Not that you need to go out and buy some new peripherals or whatever. Just improve your driving. Doesn't matter what car you drive. Doesn't matter what track you drive. Doesn't matter what video game you drive. Old or new. Just get good at driving. And get good at driving in the real world too. That way there's no accidents. That way, you all obey the laws of the road and the racetrack. And just become good drivers. Excellent drivers. Perfect drivers. Let's strive for that. Let's not let our fallen nature take over us. Start practicing. Start going to a real school. Start learning. I'm going to do another race. I'll set the settings a little bit different, and we'll see if I win this time. If I don't, it's my fault. I'm not a good driver, and I need to practice more. I told you, I've been playing racing games since I was born. It doesn't equate to first place all the time or any time. Although I have gotten first place before, it's just, like I said, you could be 80 years old and maybe get first place once, and that's it. And the rest of your life, you just got second or last or whichever. You could be 2 years old and get the same result. You get my point. Or you could get first place all the time. Is that luck? No, it's just your skill. It's just how it is. End of story. Let's do another race. Oh, and by the way, when you do a here's one thing you should do. I've done this a few times when I used to play Gran Turismo 4, 5, 6. Man, that's a horrible time. Wow. So what you should do is at the end of the race, you should watch your replay. Why? Because watching your replay is going to help you become a better driver. Because you will be able to see all the errors you did. Because you can't watch a replay. Well, now you can. Because if you take videos, like I'm doing right now, if you do live streams or you take videos and you post it to YouTube, or you just keep it on your computer, and within the video, part of the video is where you're setting the settings of your car. Yeah, you can watch those replays, but that's not going to help you become a better driver. Oh, that's not going to help you in becoming a better driver. What's actually going to help you is you watching your replay of you during the race, actually driving. So watch your replays once in a while. You don't have to watch every single one of them. And watch them for every track you do. With different cars, with different, I wouldn't say different settings, but different cars, different tracks. Different types of weather, times of day. Different settings, at least in here. And try to get your times faster. Try to get to second or first place more often. Don't just sit here and be like, oh, I need a better steering wheel. Oh, the game sucks. Oh, the AI is just too good. Or the online player. No. The online player is better than you because he's perfected his driving because he knows how to drive really good because he drives. He doesn't just sit there and complain. He doesn't just do one race, come in fifth place, and then say I suck, and then says, oh, because it's the car settings or the steering wheel or the pedal or it's the game itself, it just sucks. No, it's you. I just proved it. You see how I'm in last place totally? They would have overlapped me if I did another 10 laps. Yeah. So this time I'm gonna set the settings a little bit different, and I'm gonna try to win. At least first or second. And what I mean by first or second is come at least in a good position other than the last three places or the last four places or five places. I want to be at least in the top, I would say 10, top six. I don't want to be at the bottom, 10 or bottom six. I'll at least top 10 or top six. If I fail again, hey, I'll just keep practicing. And each and every time I do a video like this, or if I don't do a video, I'm gonna get better. So just you guys wait here. I'm gonna go fuel up, and I'll be back. So there's one quick thing I want to say. First of all, you see my setup. I know I talked about it before, but I don't have a racing cockpit. I don't have a $1,000 wheel and pedal combo with a shifter. I don't have the whole deal with three screens. I don't have what we so call a racing simulator setup, the professional one. Nobody needs that. To get Nobody, nobody needs that to get in first place. You can get in first place with this. Yeah, you saw I came in last place, but that was because of me, not because of this. Because if I swapped out this Thrustmaster racing wheel, okay, for let's say a Fanatic racing wheel that costs like $1,000, like the direct drive wheels, like the ones where you buy the motor separate and you buy the wheels separate and you buy each pedal separate and the shifter separate and the clutch and all this stuff, it's still not going to make me in first place. I'll still get in last. And if I do get in first place, well, that's a miracle. That's not because of the wheel. It's not like, oh, you got in first place with that wheel, but not your old one. See, it is the wheel. No, 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 no. It's me. I'm the issue. So I just need to get better at driving. That's all. So a lot of you out there looking to get into the sim racing world, I'm going to tell you right now, your office chair, your office desk, your keyboard and mouse, your PlayStation, Xbox controller, your racing wheel that more or less is $100 works just fine. So let's do another race, same track. Let's see if I improve. And this is just to show you that if you do this enough times with your setup, you will be really good and you will start winning first, second, or third place. That's what I'm out to show you. That with this setup I have, look, I don't really want to talk about YouTube studios too much. Not because there's a billion of them out there already talking about it, but because just build your YouTube setup. Doesn't matter. But this setup I have in here, they're cheap lights, cheap everything, a basic 600, $800 gaming machine. Like, and it's not even a gaming machine. It's just a PC, it's just a desktop PC. Like this is like a basic bitch, bare bones setup, and I'm doing just fine. I don't, you know, I don't need to have all the pizzazz and wags as what some people would say, and as what I would say. Like literally, you don't need that. Like setups are not Hollywood or Bollywood or whatever. Like give Steven Spielberg this same setup and he can create a great movie. So it's you, it's not your setup. So I'm doing just fine. Yes, I came in last. That's my fault, not the setup. I want to say that a million times. It's not the setup, it's me. For those of you who are going to continue to say, no, it's the setup, it's the setup, it's the setup. No, it's me, it's me, it's me. I'm going to drill that into your head. God's going to drill it into your head. It's human error. So let's get right to it. Another race. I'm going to show you, another race, and we're going to see if I improve. And you'll keep seeing me do races to where I'll get better over time with the same track. The other car I'm going to be driving in other races that I do is the Toyota GT86 because it's basically kind of like this car. It 200 horsepower. It's easy to use with this type of track. So hey, and I'll choose other cars similar to those, but today we're gonna stick to this one and see if I improve on it. Um, so yeah, alrighty, guys, let's hop to it. And a lot of you are probably wondering and probably saying, why is this guy doing a Assetto Corsa when this game came out in 2014, 15, whenever it came out? Like, he should be doing some of these newer games, like the new Assetto Corsa or the new whatever, new Gran Turismo 7. Look, I've said this before. You don't have to have the latest and greatest, and you don't have to have the oldies but goodies either. It doesn't matter what you have. See, I'm doing a Assetto Corsa because I have it. Because I got it. I got it, yes, when it was old. But I got it at a good price, and I got it when all the quirks and kinks have been worked out, and when all the DLCs have come out that they, made come out, that they made. That's when I usually buy my games. There's only very few games I get right at launch. I got StarCraft right at launch. I got the original StarCraft, StarCraft Brood Wars. I got Age of Empires. Actually, no, not StarCraft. I got Age of Empires right at launch. The Age of Empires, Age of Kings. Like, I don't get my games at launch when they have all the bugs and issues. And I'm talking about the majority of games out there. But there are some that I do get at launch, like I could just explain. Age of Empires, Age of Kings, or whatever. But so basically, I get them when they're old, when there's hardly any issues on them. And then I'll do videos about them once they're already old. But see, they're still great games. You don't have to get the newest and latest. Yeah, am I gonna get? I'm gonna get a Assetto Corsa 2. Yes, I'm gonna get Assetto Corsa Competizione. But that's because I love Assetto Corsa. It's not because I want the latest and greatest, because that's gonna make me a great driver. No, because I like Kunos. I like their games. They make really good games. Good Italian developers. To me, they're next to R Factor. You're gonna see me play R Factor 2, which I also have mods for that game too, just like a bunch of cars and stuff and extra tracks. But these two games, to me, they're top tier, just like Gran Turismo, the old Gran Turismos. I would say 1 through 6, and the PSP version, and the Prologue 5, and the Tokyo 2001 Tokyo Motor Show edition, which I never played. Sport sucks. 7 sucks. And yes, 7 is a career mode game, but it's not a return to Gran Turismo my whole entire life. I live and breathe Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo is my name. It's stamped in my heart from God. And in English we say Gran Turismo. In Italian, it's Gran Turismo. So let's get to this race, see how well I dead last. I said I wanted to be at least in the top 10 or 6. I was in second for a long time. And then as you saw there, I had the little spin out. Was backed up into the middle of the track. Didn't hit any cars. And I kept going. And I tried to catch up to the third person. I was really dead-eyeing the third person just so I could get in third, but it didn't happen. But that's okay. That is okay because I improved. I wasn't in dead last. What did I tell you? What position did I say I wanted to be in? I wanted to be basically below 10, not above 10. So it could be 6th place, it could be 1st place, it could be 3rd, 4th, which I'm in. That's what I wanted to be in. Or below. But is it really about the winnings? Is it about being in 1st? Is it about being in 4th, 29th? No. It's about improving your driving skills and becoming a better driver. The numbers to me don't really mean anything. Oh cool, I won an extra 5 points. I get to move on to the race. Oh cool, I didn't win any points. So I don't get to move on to the next race. I'm out. One less driver. 24 becomes 23. I don't care. To me, it's about improving yourself. Being a really good driver. Sorry there's some static here. I don't know what's going on. Probably because of the game. But that's what it's about. So we're going to do this again. And we're going to see what happens. I'm going to see if I can keep second or get first. I spoke into existence where I wanted to be. Below 10, didn't matter what number. I came in 4th. So basically I was saying, just randomly somewhere, 10 or below. I came in 4th. So in this race, I would actually like to do the same thing, same track, same car, same settings, and see what happens. Actually, no, I'm going to up the settings on one thing. Okay? So the strength was at 85 for the first one. This is 83. Let's try 84. We'll keep all of these right here the same. And we will see what happens. If you enjoy this video, leave a comment, like, subscribe, share. Look, that's not what this is about. It's about quality content. But if you enjoy the video, just do those things. You know what to do. I don't have to tell you. And if you want to see more, let me know. You already know the deal. So, alrighty, guys. Alrighty. So let's do this race again. And one of these days, I'm going to do a video where it's a race weekend. You know, you get your practice laps, you do the normal race, then you do the final race. So I'm going to set it up with either the Mazda Miata MX-5 Cup, or I'm gonna do it with the Toyota GR86 or GT86, I should say, or some small car that's easy to do. I might even do uh the Fiat 500. Um, I'll I'll show you what the car looks like. So it's basically this car right here. It's the Abarth 1600 TCR. So I do race this car a lot. It's easy to drive. It's a really cool car to drive. I'll show you where the mod is. I'll show you where I got this car from, what website. At the moment I don't remember the name of the website, but I'll relook it up and then I'll do a video about it. So this is the other car that I do drive. And then the other one is basically this Toyota GT86. It's a really great car to start off with if you want something basic. Or I would even recommend going with, like from the Toyota brand, the AE86. It's not bad. It's a good car to start off with. This is actually a car that I think I chose to start off with in Gran Turismo. It's a very simple, easy car. Even Honda Civics are, so cars like these are great to learn on. I'm not saying that you can't learn on something like what's jeez let's see, do they have one? I'm not saying you can't learn on this. You can learn on this. It's fine. I just choose to start off with cars that are either like your normal everyday cars, or just they're your normal everyday cars but cup cars, like race cars, where they're not really tuned. They just get like a livery and maybe a spoiler and some racing slicks. But you get my point. See all these cars? I have a bunch of them, but look, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, all right, we're going to choose that. All right. So let's see how well I do at this race. And if I come in dead last again, that means I didn't improve. That means I went backwards. That's okay. I learned from my mistakes. And you should too. So let's hop to the race. This will be the last race, and then I'm going to sign off. I'm going to upload the other video. And then Biohazard Candy Kid over here has to go 90-90. I got to get my rest. So this will be the last race. All right, guys. Let's do it. And by the way, if this is taking too long, well, it's not. It's just that it's loading all the cars in case some of you were wondering. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. And, yeah. Maybe this will help. Maybe not. I turned sidechain on, but that didn't help. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you want more, let me know. guys. There's my third race. There's my time. So have I improved? Yes, I have. Because I didn't come in fourth place. I came in third. And you saw the guy behind me. We're going to talk about it. So I didn't come in first. Well, let's start with this. The first race, I came in dead last. I was shit. My driving wasn't really that great. On the second race, I came in fourth. My driving did improve a bit. That's how come I came in fourth and not dead last. I even tweaked the settings. I don't know too much about these settings about like the AI, the other vehicles. So I'm still kind of tinkering with them to figure out what each one does. But I basically, I came in fourth, and this time I came in third. And this time I really, really was like, confident about doing better than fourth. And I was really trying to focus on my driving skills and those turns and my braking and my acceleration, when to brake, when to accelerate. Brake into a corner, accelerate out of a corner. And that last guy at the last, I would say 2 laps of the race, he was really on my tail. And there were times when I was just like, okay, do not fail around this corner. Because if you do, you will come in fourth or fifth. And so I really stayed steady and I just went nice and easy. I was calm. I braked when I was supposed to. And I cornered and I accelerated when I was supposed to. In and out of every corner. And in this track, I even found spots where, okay, I'm going to brake here. And then I found spots where, okay, I'm going to accelerate out of here. And I marked those spots. I designated them. So this is a track I'm going to practice on every single day. It's a simple track. You cannot go wrong with it. There's another track on here, if I'm not mistaken, that's another easy track to race on. I'm going to try to find it. It's another short track like this one. I think it's shorter. And it's like a road course, practically. It's not even like a racetrack. Think of it as like you take your everyday car in your garage and you go drive in it. So, I did better. I improved. You can't come and say, I mean, you can say whatever you want. But you saying, and when I mean you can't, like, I don't mean like you can't, like God said you can't, end of story. No, you can. But don't come and say, no, you didn't improve because you're still not in first. And it's that shitty wheel that you have, or it's your shitty driving, or it's, sure, my driving is not perfect. There's shitty drivers who come in first place, and everyone's just like, bro, how are you coming in first place when your driving is shit? Because I am. Because I've mastered certain things. Maybe not my driving, but I mastered other things that made me come in first. And there's good people that come in last. And you're like, how are they coming in last when they are a perfect driver? It's because there's things that they haven't mastered. They can drive really well and just come in last. They can drive really shitty and come in first, and vice versa. You can be a good driver and come in first, and be a shitty driver and come in last. I just proved it to you. I mean, partially, because I'm not a good driver. I play sim racing games normally. I'm not like whole hog, eyes bulging out into them. So, you saw my driving skills. You've seen them in other racing video games that I played on here. Not the tablet one where I was playing this game called GT whatever. That's a tablet game. you can hook up some type of a device to it, like a wheel, but it mostly drives for you if you set that setting or if you set it to semi. It's not like this. What was it, GT Advance or something? Not GT Advance. That's a Game Boy game, Game Boy Advance game, or Game Boy Color, Game Boy SP game. But it was like GT something. That's not like Gran Turismo or Assetto Corsa or R Factor or iRacing. That's kind of like Need for Speed, you know, like oh, what's it called? I have it. I have both of them actually. When Need for Speed tried to go realistic, but they were still simcade-ish for the PlayStation 3. Um, Need for Speed, uh, not Pro Street, but I forgot. But they tried to be like Gran Turismo. I mean, they did a good job with that game, but it was still simcade-ish, where like when you turned, your helmet camera view turned with you. That was pretty cool. Um, so as you saw, I did improve. I'm sure if I did another video, I'd probably improve more, but I'm going to go to bed. I need my rest. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video because I know I did. It was an awesome video. I enjoyed making it. I enjoy this game. So please like, subscribe, share. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Don't like, don't subscribe, don't share. I don't really care. It's mostly about God, the one and only God that exists. Jesus of Nazareth, Yahweh. Let's do a prayer. Dear Jesus, dear God, bless this world, bless me, bless all the food that everybody on this planet is going to consume. I hope that everyone does well. I want you to bless their hearts. I want you to, I'm going to need you to bless their soul. And bless every animal, tree, everything you've created. I give all the thanks and praise and glory to you, God. You're the best. You're the one and only. No human being is ever gonna no human being is ever gonna satisfy me as much as you do. But I hope that one day I find that right person, that right woman, and start a family with her, a godly family. One that obeys your rules and your laws, day in, day out. Everything I do is for you, not for anybody else. And it's also to improve my own life. I know you understand. I know you know what I'm going through, and I know you're helping me. Just like you're helping the whole entire world. I know I'm fallen. I know I'm a sinner. I know I've done bad things, and I've done good things. I'm not perfect. I know I am a part of you, God. So, I love you, and I love everyone on this planet. And I love every animal, every tree, every star, everything you created. In Jesus' name, God's name, we all pray. Amen. Alrighty, guys. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to log off. I'm going to upload that other video for you guys. That way you have some stuff to watch. And it's been real. Alrighty. Biohazard Candy Kid will be signing out.